All right, follow along on your scratch paper for the Go Math on the spot.
You know, when we take two expressions and put them together with an equal sign, it actually becomes an equation. And equations really are at the heart of all mathematics, because at the end of the day, we're trying to understand and uncover an answer, and to do that, it usually involves solving an equation. Let's take a look at an equation and see a friend of ours, Jason, who tried to find the solution, and let's see what we think about his answer. This might be an opportunity to actually learn something from a mistake. Let's check it out together. So, Jason said that the solution of the equation 2m equals 4, 2m equals 4, is m equals 8. Let's describe Jason's error and see if we can actually give a correct solution. So his guess was that m should equal 8, that's the solution. And the question we have is, do we agree or disagree? Well, there's an easy way to check to see. Because all we have to do is say, well, if m equals 8, that means that if I replace the unknown, remember that's just standing for some unknown number, if I replace that number by 8, then in fact, what I get on the left side should be identical to what I get on the right side. Namely, these two quantities should in fact be equal. And if they are equal, then we are good to go. We have a correct solution. And if not, then in fact the solution is not correct. Well, if we plug in the 8, what does that mean? Well, you could imagine someone writing an 8 in there and saying, oh, that must be 28. But that's not good. Remember that if you plug in a number, if you have a number and an unknown and there's no symbol in between, there's an invisible multiplication going on. You just don't write the digits next to each other. So really this actually means 2 times m equals 4. Sometimes it might be easier for you, until we get really comfortable with that, to maybe just keep writing it that way for ourselves to remind us that it's not going to be like 28, but it's going to be 2 times 8. So now we're going to plug in and see what happens when we check in Jason's answer. So 2 times 8, and the question is, does this equal 4? Well, 2 times 8 is actually 16. And is 16 equal to 4? Well, of course not. So we know, not so good. This is incorrect. So the answer is no. And so in fact, is this a solution? The answer is no. No. So it's not a solution. Not equal. Not equal. So now how do we think about this? How can we actually make meaning of this idea of solving an equation? Solving an equation. Well, one thing we want to do is think about what we're trying to accomplish. See, I can kind of see how Jason got the 8. He saw 2, he saw 4, I think he probably just multiplied them. That's fine, but we have to think about what this equation really means. What this equation really is saying is, I have 2 times some mysterious number, which we're calling m for mysterious number. And when you take that product, it yields 4. And so quite frankly, let me tell you how I look at this and how I think about it. I look at this and I say, this really is a riddle. Someone's thinking of a number but refuses to tell me the number. But all we know is that if we take that number and multiply it by 2, the answer will be 4. So now it's kind of a game. Can we think of a number that when I multiply by 2, the answer is 4? Well, when you put it that way, actually, we can figure it out. Because what is a number that when I multiply by 2 gives me 4? Well, the answer would be 2. And we can actually check it for ourselves. Let's see if that's right. If I take 2 and multiply it by 2, does that equal 4? Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4, in fact, equals 4. Ding! Ding! Yes. And so the answer would be 2. So that mystery box would be 2, which means that m would equal 2. 2. And so the correct solution, in fact, can be found by just thinking about what the equation means, and we would see that m equals 2 is a solution to this equation. And we can see it for ourselves because if we replace the m by 2, then 2 times 2 does equal 4. Well, welcome to the world of solving equations. It's an exciting world. Sometimes, by the way, just to be totally honest, it's a little bit tricky. There are lots of different things we have to learn, and there are lots of different techniques that we have to practice. But when we practice and master them, and as long as we understand what an equation means and all the operations that we've been studying, in fact, we can always triumph to a correct solution. Have fun finding the correct solutions in your life, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.